Hi, I'm November Nichols with L'Artisan Muse, Chemin. I always like to say it started with a crisis, a candle, and a dream. Literally back in 2014, I was working for a publishing company called Pearson Education, and you all may have heard of it. It's a testing company, and I was at the top of my game. I was the director for the West region, which means I supervised everything from Iowa to Guam. And so I spent more time literally on airplanes and in hotel rooms than I did doing the things that really made my heart smile and loving on the people that I needed to love on the most. And one day my son called me and he said, Mom, I really want to finish my senior year in Atlanta. I don't want to come to LA with you. And I was devastated because I thought the job I'm supposed to be doing the best at, I am literally failing at miserably. But the job that I'm getting paid for, I'm a rock star. And so I found myself in a pool of tears on the floor, crying, just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, I'm doing all of this for him, and he's like, beat it, Mom. And so I decided to take a walk in my neighborhood and ran into a little meditation studio called Den Meditation, and that is really where I like to say my life truly began. I began a meditation practice, and a part of that practice was to light a candle, pour myself a cup of tea, and just sit and wait on God to speak to me, to really speak to me and through me. And so the candle I burned, the company discontinued the candle, and I was like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? I'm fragrance averse, so I can't just burn anything. And so I tried to find a replacement, couldn't find a replacement, but I was getting these downloads, like, put this together, mix this and mix that. And so I started, after meditation, writing the mixtures and formulations down. And so I finally decided to create a candle. And that is where the company began. It all started with that candle. And so we decided that we would, just continue to make the candles. And so I did, and my friends would come over and they'd say, oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. We want a candle. I was like, y'all don't want that candle. That's just my meditation candle. You don't want that. And they're like, no, we really do. And so they would buy the candles, and I was like, oh my goodness, y'all just are trying to make me feel good. Y'all just buy these candles. They're like, no, these candles really smell good. And so my bestie, who's now the COO of the company, Robin, was like, you're going to Atlanta, there's a pinners conference. We're gonna take your candles, we're gonna take the body products you've been working, and if other people buy them, then it's not just because we love you, you have something. So we set up at Pinners and had this cute little process where we were blending fragrances into our bases, scrubs and oils and butters, and we were also selling our candles there that we made. And so a lady comes and she's like, if you do all of these things, then you can make me a custom fragrance. And I was like, no, that's not what we do. That's not what we do. She's like, oh no, if you can make all of these and these candles, surely you can make me a custom fragrance. And so we decided that in that moment, I was like, listen, okay, what do you like to smell? And she's like, oh, I like flowers and I like, woodsy scents, but I don't like sugary sweet stuff. So on the spot, I created the first Muse-inspired fragrance right there at Pinners. Meanwhile, the process we came up with was a hit. Literally, we were sold out by midday on Saturday. And so I was like, well, you guys, how do y'all think we did? And they said, well, how do you think we did? We don't have any scrubs, we don't have any candles, and you created a custom scent. And when I created the custom scent for Dr. Barbara, I was like, oh no, we don't do this, so I'm not gonna charge you. She was like, no. You used your supplies, you used your processes, I'm gonna pay you. I was like, no, I don't have any bottles for you, nothing. So she went over to Robin and she said, I want you to give November this and tell her I need her to get some bottles and some labels because I'm gonna be reordering this fragrance. And I said, oh, okay. And so that was the point that we knew that we actually had something. And so later that day, Robin was like, you remember Dr. Barbara, that muse that came up? I was like, yeah, I remember her. She told me to give you this. She had left $100 for that custom fragrance that I created for her. But until that moment, I didn't believe in my vision. I didn't believe in the downloads. I didn't believe in what I had created until that moment when other people started purchasing. And so that's when we decided to open our first brick and mortar. Well, fast forward, the pandemic happened, all businesses shut down, the world shut down, everything shut down. So we actually brought everything online. And so I was speaking to my father and he said, "What are you doing, honey?" I was like, "Oh, I'm working on our fall winter collection of fragrances and teas." He said, "I need to tell you something." And I was like, "What?" "Your grandmother used to blend fragrances and teas and tinctures for her community in Lafayette, Louisiana. She died early, so I didn't know her." I was flabbergasted. I mean, completely stunned. Because I realized that the downloads I was getting way back in 2014, they were coming from her. And I realized that this was a part of my blood, it was part of my purpose work, and this was what I was supposed to be doing. And so we decided to rename our collection after her, which is now called Maison Chemin. And her name was Marilena Chemin Portales. So we took her middle name because it means the path. And so that's how it started. You can reach me online at www.maisonchemin.com or on Instagram at November Nichols, at L'Artisan Muse, or at Maison Chemin.